Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today this is going to be my review for Survivor Season 43, which overall I will say it's an interesting season. However, I wouldn't say it's the best season in the world, but it's not definitely not the worst. There's some good moments there here and there, and there's some boring moments here and there. And I think the level of gameplay was definitely scaled down, in my opinion, from what we've seen in the past with Survivor 42 and Season 41, and obviously some other seasons before that as well. And it definitely seems like the rumors of production not liking 43 as much as 44, which in 44's case, I believe they actually really like season 44, or we'll get into that. But overall, it was it was decent. And I don't know if it's a season I would necessarily watch again, but there's some good moments, and I actually really do like the cast here, and yeah, so I guess what I'll do is just run through some of the highlights. I guess some of the characters, and obviously some of the twists. And I guess we'll start off with the Big Wear Advantage this year, which this season was a kind of a bead twist, where they had to convince this player. Each one person from each tribe had to convince one player, or each player, to give a bead to form an idol. And once they had all 5 beads, it would form that idol. And those idols, and all 3 players do end up finding those idols, and they are all 3 make it decently far in the game. Right straight to the final. Well, 6 there. We'll talk about that because but there's also there the knowledge is power. I don't know if the knowledge is power will ever be played correctly or ever be a success for a player. Maybe it will be, but who knows. I'm more inclined to believe that it probably won't. It's not gonna be the best advantage in the world. I don't think it's something that will probably return that many more times. And for all we know, it's back in 44. But yeah, then some of the boot order here is kind of interesting. So we had the first 3 boots, and that first tribal council with Baka. I actually kind of thought Owen was going, and it ended up being Mariah. But, however, I was happy that Owen didn't go that round because I picked Owen as my winner pick. And guess how well that turned out. Actually didn't do that bad. Owen made the final 3. It's just he did really badly in most of it in his game and kept making mistakes. Too many mistakes to the point where he was literally he admitted that he made so many mistakes. And they just, in the jury, at the final, in the jury, the 8-person jury, didn't award him with the million. And I actually did think Mariah was going to make it a couple more rounds. It was definitely interesting. And then we get some of these 2 players here, Justine and Nneka. And Justine, I think she's probably going to be one of the more forgettable players from the season here. And then we got Nneka, who I think was decent enough, but probably going to be forgettable, unfortunately. By the end of the season, I kind of forgot she was even on the season. And then we have Lindsay, who had got so paranoid. Her paranoia literally wrote her name down and voted her out, pretty much. And we almost had a Survivor history. If Gio wasn't voted out there and Ellie was there, voted out in fifth. In the fifth person voted out, it would have been her Survivor history, because I don't believe there's ever been a season where 5 women were voted out in a row. Which I think, like, the fact that so many women went home early, even in this season here, it kind of made it a little bit icky on some of the other people's those minds. Just because, like maybe some people thought it was rigged. And I guess Gio overall, like, yeah, not the greatest player in the world. I didn't really even care for him. And then we have Elizabeth, or Ellie, I guess, in this case, who I thought was actually, I didn't want her to do well, but, like, she did decent. And I remember, like, we did see that Janine and Ellie did look through Gabriel's bag, and we'll get to that a little bit later. Then we have Dwight, who was there. I kind of forgot he was on the season, but his idol came into play. He actually gave it to Jesse, I think, yeah. Oh no, he didn't, because Janine gave her idol to Dwight. Dwight gave the idol to Jesse, and Jesse held on to it. And yeah, and I guess, like, let's talk about Janine, James, and Ryan all in one here. They were meh. All 3 of them. I didn't care for them at all. Didn't really, like, they were kind of meh. And I don't think they'll ever return. I mean, guess Janine maybe could have a shot at coming back eventually. But yeah, not that great. And then we have, but the final is 7, I think. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, 7 or 8. It was, I think it was like a decent amount, good. But however, I think it kind of reminds me of like an All Stars, where all these, well, not really All Stars, but like, look, we have these good, interesting players who got so much screen time in earlier parts of the season. 3 major characters go back to back to back. I guess if you guys like Noelle, not the biggest game player in the world. Most of her confessionals were about her leg, because she's an amputee, and like Sammy being 19 years old was interesting as well, being a pet cremator. Yeah, Cody. I just remember the stream banter that we had, but his blind side was insane. Carla making it as far as you get, and then getting battered up was also great. Jesse's probably the best player of the season, and I think if Cody, Carla, or Jesse made it to the final 3 alone, with either Owen, Cassidy, or Gabler, they would have won. And I think, like, in this case, like, I did predict that when we got to the the finale, before the finale, I should say, I did think that Gabler was going to win. And I did predict a finale of Owen, Cassidy, and Gabler, because I don't think production really wanted that. I think they would be happy with like a Jesse win, or a Carla win, or a Cody win, even like Sammy. But like Cassidy, who is she? Like, she didn't do that much, and I heard some people say I thought Cassidy was going to win, and they were really defending her, or a lot of people were defending her, and I personally was like, yeah, I personally caught on right at the start of the finale, the first Gabler confessional, that he was going to win, and Cassidy is gonna lose. I didn't think Cassidy got that much content. However, there was a point in the season where there's a slimmer of hope, and there was definitely no shot Owen was winning, right? Nothing, no shot at all. And I guess that's pretty much it for 43. Yeah. So it's not the greatest season in the world. Some of those challenges were interesting. I should mention that there was a challenge where Carla and Owen end up winning immunity because they outlasted the challenge, which is the last gasp challenge, kind of like where you have to breathe through like a steel grade. And yeah, that was an interesting challenge nonetheless. Probably a favorite challenge of the season. But yeah, pretty okay there. And I guess we should talk about season 44, which I'm kind of excited for. We did get the promo, and we did get details. Well, obviously, there's a person from Canada, Saskatchewan, Canada, the province, and it's on there, which is going to be fun. I can't wait for 44. There were also it also showed a medevac in 44, which I'm expecting just because they showed one, there's probably going to be at least two. And I think like they did hype up 40 production hyped up 44 so much that I'm going to be expecting a lot from this next season here. And yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much it though. As for other videos, for the rest of the year, just stay tuned for more random videos. Because gonna be like Survivor and I don't know, Amazing Race videos, I guess, and Reddit videos and other stuff like that. But yeah, that is the video. Thank you for watching.